father, Leo. I know what you're thinking, he looks like the most innocent guy ever, like he could work in the IT department, but he was actually involved in a gambling scheme in Australia. He also faced multiple convictions, including possession of and a loaded firearm.
Kanye West's father-in-law has demanded he and Bianca Censori fly to Australia to address concerns over her X-rated outfits. Bianca's mother has previously addressed fears of Kanye's intimidating behavior, with one source alleging he parades Bianca around like a trashy naked trophy pony. A source says Bianca's father, Leo, will not be intimidated by Kanye's power or control after Bianca's mother's failed attempts to save her daughter.
Y'all, it looks like Kanye West might have bitten off a little more than he can chew, because Bianca Censori's father just threatened to have him jumped, and Kanye is running scared. It turns out that Bianca's father isn't just any random man. He's allegedly the leader of one of the biggest mafias in Australia, and he doesn't like how Kanye has been treating his baby girl. In case y'all missed it, Kanye and Bianca got name dropped during Diddy's trial when Jane Doe exposed them. She claimed that not only did Kanye allegedly attend Diddy's freak-off parties, but he also threw some of his own as well. Well, this seems to be the last straw for Bianca's father, and it looks like he's about to unleash his mafia fury on Kanye. So what exactly did Jane Doe say that Kanye did to Bianca? And did Kanye lock Bianca in a creepy dungeon for days on end? This is about to get real creepy, y'all, so let's break it down. Okay, so it looks like we finally know why insiders have been saying that Kanye has been freaking out these past couple of days. It turns out that Bianca's father is sick and tired of Kanye treating Bianca like a trophy. He threatened to send over some of his buddies to have a word with Kanye. And by having a word, he means that his buddies are going to rough Kanye up, allegedly. And while Kanye is known for having a smart mouth himself, he's unlikely to be able to handle a rumba from down under and hold his own in a fight. But what did Kanye do that finally pushed Bianca's father over the edge? Well, according to insiders, it has something to do with the new reports that Kanye allegedly locks Bianca in a sex dungeon in their house. And as crazy as it sounds, there have been multiple reports of celebs involved in weird dungeons and tunnels. Y'all remember them nasty tunnels that were exposed by Diddy's houses, and the rumors of other celebs doing some creepy and potentially illegal things at these tunnels? Well, word in the streets is that Kanye allegedly replicated this in his home, but Bianca was not exactly a willing participant. According to reports, Kanye wasn't about to let her ruin his dungeon fantasy, so he allegedly keeps her locked down in the dungeon for hours on end. And as wild as things sound, the only reason we found out about this in the first place is that their names came up during the cross-examination of a witness named Jane Doe during Diddy's trial. Now, while Kanye West was not directly named, the hints even during the witness's testimony made it clear that he had to be the rapper in question. So what did Jane Doe have to say, and how did the fans figure out that she was referring to Kanye West? Well, according to reports, Jane Doe faced intense questioning over the night in January 2024 when she allegedly found herself in a Las Vegas hotel room with another world-famous rapper, Amel, and a group of other people. The rapper wasn't identified by name, but Combs' lawyer Tenny Garagos referred to him as an icon in the music industry. The witness said the trip was to celebrate the birthday of the rapper's girlfriend or wife. Echoing prior testimony, she described her surprise when the festivities included a male entertainer whom Combs had hired for the three-ways known as hotel nights that she and Combs engaged in during their 3.5-year relationship. Well, Jane said that she and Combs knew the escort sometimes traveled with the rapper and his significant other, but she was still taken aback when she saw him at the birthday dinner. And after she went to the other rapper's freak-off, it looks like the escort told Diddy what happened. And not long after, Diddy called her up and he was furious. He asked her how she could do something like that, like she broke some kind of unspoken rule between them. According to reports, Combs felt betrayed and had asked Jane, "How could you go to another man's freak-off?" Upset, Combs allegedly added, "I can't believe you went outside of us." And y'all, there are definitely signs pointing at Mr. West. Now, for one, he certainly fits the description of an icon in the music industry. He has been acting a little cray-cray over these past couple of years, but that doesn't take away from his icon status. But what really sealed the deal was the claim that the freak-off was for a rapper's wife's birthday. See, Bianca's birthday is in January, and remember how Jane Doe said that the freak-off happened in Vegas in January 2024? for? Well, in January 2024, y'all want to guess where Kanye and Bianca were? Vegas, that's where. So it's all fitting that bill pretty perfectly. And according to a court reporter in the case, it was pretty obvious to everybody in the court who the anonymous rapper was.
But Jane Doe was like, and the government's like, no, we can't name her. We can't name this guy. We can't name them. Like, because it is so salacious. You guys, look, this is what happened. Allegedly, according to Jane Doe, she had been broken up with Diddy at this time. Diddy was busy. He had Young Miami, Jesse, Gina in rotation. She was on a trip with a different rapper named Bear, and they were in Vegas, and she goes to dinner with this rapper for his wife's birthday, and then afterwards, they go to a hotel, and there's an escort that she recognizes there named Anton, and she's like, oh my god, like, why are you here? Like, I recognize you, because she obviously did Freak Offs. So this other celebrity had hired this escort Anton to have sex with a woman. So they go to this hotel room, and there's 7 to 8 people, she said, just staring, watching this rapper, or watching, sorry, I got really distracted by Jesus is King, like right here. So there's this escort banging this woman, and there's 7 to 8 people watching. And at one point, she even took her top off, she said, because she was in the moment. And the famous rapper went up to her and said, I think you're very beautiful. I always wanted to F you. Now, not many rappers have wives with birthdays in January. So you guys can do the math and you guys can figure out who it is.
But it gets more interesting because the day after Jane Doe made this court revelation, Kanye suddenly turned up in court. It's almost like he wanted to hear if Jane Doe had anything else to say about him, and he wanted to hear it for himself.
Back up. Do you think this is an Illuminati attack on Diddy? Take it, brother.
Yeah, it doesn't come quite as a shock that he allegedly locks Bianca in a dungeon until she gives in to his will. However, even though Bianca might be helpless, it looks like her father is finally stepping up to speak on her behalf, and he is not happy about the reports of how Kanye is treating Bianca. According to an insider, Bianca's father Leo wants to have a proper sit-down with Kanye and ask him what the hell he is thinking when he parades Bianca around like a trashy trophy pony. He wants to ask Kanye what he would do if his daughters North or Chicago were seen in public in outfits encouraged by their husbands. He knows there's no way that Kanye would allow this for his daughters, so it makes no sense why he would encourage this for his own wife. The insider continued, it isn't bad enough that the man who was supposed to protect Mr. and Mrs. Censori's daughter is the same man that is shutting her out from her own family. Leo honestly wants to just sit Kanye down and let him know that he's hurting her family by turning his beloved daughter into a trashy-looking marketable commodity. No man should ever encourage the woman that he loves to walk out in public and present herself like this. This isn't love, that is control. And get this, y'all, Leo isn't the only one who feels like this, because there have been reports of her other relatives and friends feeling weirded out by how Kanye forces Bianca to dress in public. A source said, Bianca's friends are sadly not even fazed by what she is wearing in public anymore. This doesn't concern them anymore as much as the dead look in her eyes when she is out with Kanye. Another insider said, her family and friends are mortified because it just keeps getting worse and worse. Bianca clearly doesn't realize that what she wore isn't only disgusting and setting a bad example, but she is also potentially breaking the law. Meanwhile, Kanye is covered up in 5 layers of clothes, and when his wife is looking chilly while wrapped in plastic, he didn't so much as offer her one of his capes. Her parents are so distressed over this because they did not recognize her. She would not be doing this unless she was being controlled. He continues to lock her in by giving her more stake and ownership over various projects that he has going on, including the clothing. It's easy to understand why they're upset though, but why is everybody scared on Kanye's behalf? Well, it turns out that Bianca's dad isn't just any old man, but he reportedly runs one of the biggest mafias in Australia. And according to reports, Bianca's father, Leo Censori, did hard jail time after being convicted in 1982, a charge of possessing a prohibited import substance and sentenced to 5 years with a minimum of 3. Leo also has convictions for possession of a pistol and fully jacked ammunition. Reports also said that in 1991, Leo's former wife, Faye Glascott, spilled the beans on his illegal gambling empire. She told Herald Sun reporter John Sylvester that Leo had been involved in a cartel that controlled a large slice of a lucrative illegal gambling industry in Melbourne during the 80s. Ms. Glasgow at the time said her former husband had made a fortune from illegal gambling. The word on the streets is that Leo was so deep in the mafia that the rival gangs were actually planning to take him out. And things got so serious that the police had to step in and offer him protection. And that says a lot about how powerful he really was. And honestly, it makes you wonder just how much pull he has still behind the scenes. But y'all, there's even more, because her father was not the only one involved in the criminal life. Because according to multiple reports on her uncle, Bianca Censori is a notorious gangland killer, once dubbed Melbourne's Al Capone. Bianca was sentenced to death in Western Australia for a murder, but the sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment. Also, her oldest brother Edmondo, known as Eddie Capone, has convictions in Victoria for violence, including assaulting police, thefts, and threats. So not only is Bianca's father in the mafia, but her brother and uncle are as well. And there are reports that the father is not the only one who has an issue with Kanye, and it might be a whole family affair. Y'all, Kanye might need to hire more bodyguards, because if Bianca's father puts a hit out on him, the odds of him escaping are slim to none. And honestly, who can blame him? As bad as the reports from the Jane Doe were about Kanye allegedly locking Bianca in this crazed dungeon, it's not the first time that we've heard Kanye treating her badly. But for example, in her insider report, it said Kanye has a set of rules for Bianca, which includes never speak and wear what he wants her to wear. She is also required to eat certain food items and to work out, even though Kanye doesn't work out. He has been able to control Censori completely because he allegedly convinced her that they're royal. She has no mind of her own anymore. Now, allegedly, she was so deep under his control that she refused to get help by her family and friends. An insider said a few of her friends were finally able to reach her, but she wasn't interested in talking, nor was she interested in anyone's concerns for her. Another insider said Bianca is stuck and her friends are trying to save her, but no one can because of the blockades Kanye has put up around her. Everyone is extremely concerned. This isn't who she is. She is an incredibly outspoken and lively person who was never one to keep her mouth shut. And from the looks of things, her family believes that Kanye only married her as a rebound for Kim, and because he needed someone to control. He reportedly started mistreating her from the very first month of their marriage. A source said Bianca's mother and father find Kanye to be slightly disturbing. Her parents found it suspect that he married Bianca 1 month after his divorce from Kim was finalized, and they really didn't want Bianca to be a rebound for such a high-profile marriage. It looks like they were right to be worried, because it has been 3 years of most of this. It doesn't look like Bianca can break out on her own. It's no wonder that her father is furious. While Kanye makes a big deal of trying to protect his own kids, he has supposedly been treating Bianca like a toy. And y'all want to know how we know that Kanye is in real deep trouble with Bianca's daddy? It's that he can't lie and say that Bianca has been doing all this out of her own free will, because he has publicly bragged a couple of times about how he has full control of Bianca. He even claimed that she never does anything without his say-so. After their crazy stunt at the Grammys earlier this year, Kanye went in on her infamous rant on Twitter. He said stuff like, "I have dominion over my wife. That ain't no woke-ass feminist crap. She's with a billionaire. Why would she listen to interview dumb broke bees? People say the red carpet look was her decision. Yes, I don't make her do anything she doesn't want to, but she definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without my approval. You stupid woke pawns. I have no respect or empathy for anyone living, because no one living can up with me, but I do love some people and give them favor." He then said, "Anyone who called my wife's Grammy look a stunt is dumb and lame. Yes, you. She been dressing naked for 2 years, and now all of a sudden it's a stunt? Every single bee on the planet wished they had her bravery, body, and platform, and access to money, and a husband that supported their personal expression. There are a lot of things that had to converge for this moment to happen." Yeah, y'all, it looks like Bianca's father clearly has more than enough evidence to nail Kanye. But not that he even needs the evidence, because y'all know that Mafia isn't exactly bothered about little technicalities like evidence and stuff like that. And if the big boss thought it was getting hurt, y'all better believe that his goons is going to be on the next plane out from Australia. But between the sun at the Grammys, Kanye's tweets, Jane Doe's comments about this dungeon, and the multiple reports over the years, Kanye pretty much painted a red target on his own back, and he's about to find out the hard way that Leo means business. But anyways, I need to know what y'all think about this. Drop your thoughts and comments below and check out this next video.